Essentially, if it's not going on our person, getting bolted to the Jeep, or going inside the Jeep, then we don't carry it. We don't have anywhere else to store things. Welcome back to Hourless Life, where we're driving around the world. Hopefully you've been enjoying our travel content on this overland journey, because that is what overlanding is about. But many of you on our channel have been asking us to do some gear reviews on some of the items that we use for this global overlanding journey. And today we're going to do just that. Today we're going to review the Phoenix 300 portable power station. It's our ethical duty to inform you, our viewers, when anything that we're sharing is sponsored. We have 27 gear sponsors for this global overland journey, and Renogy Solar is one of our sponsors. Having said that, we are going to cover the pros and the cons of the Phoenix 300 portable power station. We hope you enjoy this. When it comes to gear, we have 5 practical considerations that we use to determine whether or not we're going to add a piece of gear to our overlanding arsenal. We think they're really good practical tips, and we hope these are helpful to you. The first is size. How big is this thing? What is the footprint of this item? This is really important because you have to know where it's going to live inside your vehicle. The second one is weight. Every ounce that you add to your overlanding vehicle makes a difference, and payload capacity does not go away simply because you ignore it. The third is functionality. What does this item do, and how does it do it? The fourth is frequency of use. Okay, so it might have a lot of functionality, it might be small, it might not weigh much, but how often am I going to use it? And the last one is durability. How long is this thing going to last? How much abuse can it take? It's a hard life, and our gear has to be able to withstand that journey. All right, guys, this is the Renogy Phoenix 300. It is not a new product. It's been out for 3 years, and it's proven itself in the field, not just to us, but to countless other people who have been using it. It's a fantastic little device, and we are going over the 5 considerations that I just went over regarding this unit. The first consideration we talked about was size. As you can see, the Phoenix 300 is a very small portable power station. It measures 7.1 by 6.1 by 5.6 inches. It is a tiny, tiny little device. By far the smallest portable power station that we've ever used in 8 years of full-time travel, which means that it's going to take up very little of that precious cargo space that you have in your overlanding kit. Really, really happy with the size on this unit. As far as weight for this unit, it's only 6.4 pounds. It's super, super lightweight. Which again checks off the box for us as far as weight goes. It's not going to add very much to your payload capacity in comparison to the functionality that it gives to you. In addition, it is by far the lightest portable power station we've ever used in our travels. So it's the smallest one we've used and the lightest one we've used, but how well does it function? This is where the Phoenix 300 really shines. With this tiny and lightweight portable power station, you can actually charge up to 8 devices simultaneously. On one full charge of this unit, it can charge a laptop 4 to 5 times. It can charge a drone over 15 times, charge your smartphone over 20 times. I mean, it is just a powerful little unit. For you filmmakers out there, it has a built-in D-tap output. It also has a 60-watt USB-C port, 2 110-volt grounded AC outlets that provide pure sine wave power and can power up to 200 watts. It has 3 USB-A ports, including a quick charge, and inside here, it has a 12-volt cigarette type outlet. With the quick charge USB-A port, it will charge a dead iPhone to about 60% battery in about 30 minutes. And charging the unit itself is easy. You can do it via the DC input, which is right here, and that takes about 6 hours. You can also connect it via solar panel, and of course charging time depends on the sun. And you can also charge it via the 12-volt cigarette port. Now the lights that are here on the left side of the unit will tell you the state of charge while you're using the unit. The lights on the right side of the unit tell you which ports are active. So if you're using the USB, that one will light up. If you're using the AC power, that one will light up. The unit also comes integrated with a carrying handle, which makes it super easy to carry this around camp. And it has lights on the side of the carrying handle. There are 4 different stages of these lights: bright white, dimmer white, an SOS feature, and a strobe in case of emergencies. With all that it can do and its versatility when it comes to charging options, both for what it can power and how it can be recharged, the Phoenix 300 clearly checks off the functionality box. All right, let's talk about frequency of use. You guys, we use this thing all the time. Literally every single time we set up camp, this thing comes out and we use it. Even when we go into a hotel or an Airbnb, we take the unit in with us, plug it in via the DC input, and then just use the USB chargers to charge all of our devices, like kind of on a nightstand. So this thing gets constant use by us. Definitely checks off the frequency of use. Next is durability. How durable is this thing? Well, you guys, we've been using this unit for nearly a year of full-time overlanding use. We go on a lot of off-road trails. This thing lives inside our Goose Gear utility cabinets, getting bounced around all the time. We drag it outside. We've had it out when it's been raining, obviously under our awning, but it's been out in the elements. It's been in extreme heat. It's been in extreme cold. And if you look at it after a year of nearly full-time use, you would almost think it was new. It's really rugged. It feels very solid in my hands. It doesn't feel cheap or flimsy at all. And we have been incredibly impressed with the durability of the Phoenix 300 by Renogy Solar. So that covers our 5 points, but let's talk about some of the things that we don't like about the Renogy Phoenix 300. There are only really 2 things that come to mind, and they might sound trivial, but again, when you're doing this full-time like we are, every little thing makes a difference, right? So the first thing I really don't care for is that these lights up here, both on the left and right side, you can't dim them or turn them off, which may not sound like a big deal, but when you're inside a rooftop tent or inside a small enclosed space and you're trying to charge some devices, but somebody else is sleeping, those lights are actually quite bright. I wish there was a way to turn those off or dim them. Obviously, our solution is just turn it away so that the lights are facing away from people, but then the ports are also facing away from you, or just cover it up. So that's the solution for that. The other thing that I don't like about the Renogy is that when you are charging it via the DC input, the AC ports become unusable, which really, when you think about it, isn't that big a deal, because if you're charging it here, that means you probably have other outlets available to you because you're charging this one that you could use for your other devices while this is charging. Again, a small little thing, but I kind of wish you would be able to still use these while this unit is charging. Those are really the only 2 things that I can think of, though, that I don't like about this unit. So again, huge thumbs up from us on the Phoenix 300. If you have any questions about the Phoenix 300 or actually any of the gear that we use, drop us a comment below. We're happy to do gear reviews and kind of share with you what we take on our global journey and why you should consider looking into these things. Speaking of journey, for those of you curious, we are currently in the Yucatan Peninsula. I am recording this video from Mérida in Mexico, and for the next 2 weeks, we are going to be exploring the Mexican Riviera. So that should be a lot of fun. And after that, Mexico's kicking us out. So we are gonna have to cross a border, and Brittany, Caspian, and I are headed to Belize. We have a lot to say about Belize. That's gonna be coming up in our series, you guys. Be ready, because we have been looking into it and it looks amazing. If this content is helpful to you, we'd really appreciate it if you'd give it a thumbs up. It kind of helps us out so other people can see that you guys like this video. So just take a second and do that for us. Also, if you enjoy this type of content, subscribe to our channel. Most of our channel is really about this journey, because that is what overlanding is all about. We want you to see this great and beautiful world that we're exploring. And if you look at our other content on our channel, you'll see a lot of our travels. If you want to go behind the scenes with us, please do so. Join our Patreon. You guys, that is our consistent community. Unlike you, we don't have our buddies that we can just call up and say, hey, you want to get together and have some coffee, go for some wings, or stop for a glass of wine or something. That doesn't exist in our world. So our Patreon community is our consistent community that we talk to and get to know and invest in, and they invest in us. It's a beautiful place for us, and we are so thankful for our Patreon supporters. We'd love for you to consider being one of them. And we have a lot of perks that are great for travelers, overlanders or people who are just interested in seeing the world around them. So check that out. Hope you enjoyed this gear review. Again, if you have any questions, hit us up in the comments and we will see you in the next video.